continue to do this for years to come.
At Conference USA Media Days, they had the poll that came out and says you guys were going to be fifth in the division. Did you guys pay any attention to that, or do you talk about that?
Preseason hype and preseason lack of hype, it is what it is. I do think that that the team that we have is healthier. The roster that we have is from top to bottom in a better position than I felt like we were going into last year, from top to bottom. This team excites me. It's exciting to be a part of. There's a lot of youth, and what's so exciting about this team right now is having 10 battle-tested seniors that have gone through a lot, whose careers have been marred by coaching changes, and certainly a lot of success and some tough times as well. Those 10 seniors are warriors. They're battle-tested, but beyond that, we have an incredibly exciting and talented youthful team, many of which got repetitions last year in games. We're gonna return a lot of players that are young that have tasted what it's like to be out there on Saturdays. Now it's time to grow and go from good to great for some of those young players.
How much can that be used for motivation?
It's used a lot, to be honest. I think our players are obviously, they have one significant goal in mind every year. You can't achieve our big goals, which is to win a conference, to win a New Year's Six bowl game without winning the conference. You have to win Conference USA. So that's the goal that stares you right in the face every day when you wake up and you go to train and you go to practice, you go to meetings. And to be picked fifth in the conference on our side of the division, certainly that is fuel to the fire. We don't talk about it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, there's been a couple conditioning sessions this summer where I've mentioned that to our players. We're picked to finish fifth in our side of the division. Now on the flip side of that, we do have a pretty dang talented division. I'll be honest. I mean, we got great coaches, we got great players. A bunch of these coaches have won at the highest level. You look at Butch Davis, you look at Doc Holliday, you look at Bobby Wilder, who's a great coach. Did a great job developing that program. Obviously on our division too, you look at Lane Kiffin, and by the time he was essentially 45 years old, or however old he is, I mean, he's been an NFL head coach and a Power 5 head coach at two of the most prestigious institutions in college football. There's a lot of great experience. Bobby Wilder's one of the best, I think, coaches and one of the most underappreciated coaches in college football.
Those guys you were in the car with, how much are they excited about playing?
Yeah, I'll tell you, an hour and 45-minute drive for me, it was an hour and 27 minutes. But it was fun. We had a blast. We talked about our team a lot. Just hearing Dre Ferris and Messiah White, just two incredible leaders of our team that were high school teammates. Just what this program and what this team, the 2018 team, means to them and their legacy on the Hill. And hearing just about what's going on our team, leadership that's emerging, and talking about holding young players accountable to a standard, but the players doing it was just that drive up here to Louisville is worth its weight in gold, just to be around those guys and talk about our team. And I think sometimes as a head coach you miss out on those great conversations that are a little bit more on a micro level because you deal with the macro so much. But yeah, coming here to play at Louisville, week 3 of the season. It's not an easy journey to go Wisconsin, Maine, with a lot of, there's going to be a lot of build up to that home opener, and then coming here to Louisville. Not an easy road to start out a season. There's no program that we'd rather have a chance to play in state than Louisville, especially with the ties that we have to this area. So our players are pretty excited about it, and got to hear about the best chicken in town, and learned a lot about Louisville from our players.
What'd they say?
Kings. Is that right?
Chicken King? Yeah.
Chicken King, there you go. Yeah, I'm learning.
I know Rick mentioned before that he would love to see like a Kentucky tournament for basketball. Would you guys like to play every team from Kentucky, at least at some point?
I think so.
These are the big ones?
Last year when we opened with Eastern Kentucky, we talked about it was a state championship game for us. It was Eastern versus Western, the two parts of the state, for us. And I think, having a chance to play Eastern, U of L, and play UK, would be awesome. Play for a Commonwealth Cup or a Commonwealth Boot or whatever you want to call it, a bourbon barrel, whatever we want to do. I think we should do it. Honestly, I think that would make a whole lot of sense to schedule UK, get them on the schedule. get some home and aways. We have obviously a big fan base of U of L and UK fans in Bowling Green, unfortunately. But that they could come and represent their brand in our part of the state, and certainly we look forward to that opportunity here coming up to Louisville as well.
How much different is it going into year 2?
It's night and day for me going into year 2 because of the relationships that are built. They're not just on kind of a surface level. They're deeper conversations that you have with your coaches and with coaches have with players and players have with players, just on a different level than it was a year ago. And then honestly, I didn't know what I had going into year 1 until you go through the games. When you play games, you learn so much more about your roster. You learn, what players are going to respond in different environments and in different situations. Who's going to respond well to adversity? Who's going to cower down when the lights are on? You learn a lot about your team, and we're in such a better place of knowing what we have, even if we are young. But we have a lot of players that have some form of on-field experience, and I think that's going to go a long ways as we build and continue to build a program that is sustainable for years to come.
Now that the summer's coming to close, do you like the progress your team made during these off-season months? And has anybody jumped up as a surprise leader to you?
I'm gonna say, just like every other college football coach, I love our team, I love our progress, but I'll be honest, the strength coach, Jason Veldkamp, the work that he's done with our players, it's been lights out. He's out there with his assistants. They grill out for the players on Tuesday after they run their player run practice. It's something to see. It really is. It's a sight to see the amount of work that they're putting in, and then combine it with the breaking of bread and the fellowship and the brotherhood. And that's a big part of our team mantra this year is big we, little me, and I think that's been achieved. By a wide margin this summer. In terms of the physical gains, the guys that needed to put weight on have put weight on. The guys that needed to lose weight have lost weight, and that's being fully transparent. I like our receiver group right now, a group that was a big question mark after losing 3-4 of the top 5 pass catchers from last season. I think that Quinn Jernigan has had an incredible summer. Lucky Jackson has emerged as the leader, maybe if not of the offensive unit, certainly of the receiver group. Xavier Lane is turning into a physical specimen that knows what we're doing schematically and can go out and operate at a high level. And then Jaquez Sloan is a receiver that can run and blow the top off. So I like where that group's at, and in the quarterback position, we've challenged them that coaches can't be out there this time of year. You've got to go out and run the show. You got to run practice, and from the reports that we get, our practices that have been run by the quarterbacks have gone incredibly well and been incredibly organized.
What kind of potential does Col Spencer have in his career at Western Kentucky?
Col Spencer, I was looking at him, riding shotgun on the drive up here. He's just he fills up the entire F-150 captain's chair. He's broad, he's wide, he's athletic, and he's got so much more confidence. And we were laughing today, about the time when I pulled him into my office, getting ready to play Vanderbilt. I said, "Hey, we're gonna burn this red shirt, man." And he looked at me. He's like, "Okay, let's go." And he was scared to death. He was absolutely mortified. Didn't sleep probably for 3-4 days, and just his confidence in the spring ball, his confidence in summer, and then now just the way he carries himself. You would think that he's a 3 or 4 year vet. And just those 4 or 5 games and being baptized under fire, particularly against an SEC team with a really good defensive front, that was a great opportunity for him to grow quickly, because we needed him to. And between he and Miles Pate and Tyler Witt, those are guys that have played football, played a good amount of football now for us, and we're gonna have to rely on them quite a bit to carry us as we break into a couple of these starters.
How difficult is it to replace a guy like Mike White, who's such a good quarterback?
It's tough. That is a lot of the reason that we are not picked so high in our conference is because Mike himself accounted for so many yards over the course of the last 2 seasons, and the accuracy he brought to the game. This quarterback we got and the group of quarterbacks that we have coming up, pretty fun guys to be around, pretty fun guys to watch play the game. They're going to add a different dimension to the game, but they all can make the throws as well. So based off of what I've been accustomed to in training, these quarterbacks we have, Drew Eccles being the main one to talk about, they have some tools that I do truly believe can be developed into next level players, and I think that starts with Drew, even as a fifth-year senior.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.